Everyone's feeding the dogs. Just looking at absinthe. Well, looking at alcohol in general. But absinthe, I didn't know it's Swiss. Oh, that's call it a green goddess, don't they? Green fairy. Caves at laboratoire. It's brewed and distilled, I presume. It's curious stuff. Oh, my Kindle's froze. The precise origin of absinthe is unclear. The medical use of wormwood dates back to ancient Egypt and is mentioned in the Ebers Papyrus. Well, how curious, eh? Well, drinkers included Ernest Hemingway, James Joyce, Charles Baudelaire, Paul Verlaine, Arthur Rimbaud, Henry de Toulouse-Lautrec, Amedeo Modigliani, Pablo Picasso, Vincent van Gogh, Oscar Wilde, Marcel Proust, Aleister Crowley, Eric Satie, Edgar Allan Poe, Lord Byron, Alfred Jarry, and Marilyn Manson. Marilyn Manson, what the fuck they put in there? He's not fitting to be. Absinthe has often been portrayed as dangerously addictive, psychoactive drug and hallucinogen. The chemical compound thujone, which is present in the spirit in trace amounts, was blamed for its alleged harmful effects. Yeah, it's weird stuff. Well, the Green Muse. Fucking kill you stone dead though. It's fucking what? Country of origin, Switzerland. I never knew it was Swiss. I'd like Iron Worker Jens. He left a message for me on one of my vlogs a couple of weeks ago, and I've only just seen it this morning. So and he gave me his email address, but asked me to delete the message. I deleted the message and I forgot and lost his email address. So Lee, maybe Febs, if you could maybe help me out on Messenger or whatever. Because I don't want him to think that I'm being ignorant, because I've only just got the message today. And I can't reply to his I can't answer him in an email because I haven't got his email address. Because I'm such an idiot. I didn't write it down, I thought. Anyway. Yeah, absinthe, mental stuff. Okay. Right. That was absinthe, right? I've just punched in here, Vatican City, City of Washington DC, City of London. I've never done this way. I'm going to just see what comes up, right? Look, 3 corporations run the world, the unholy trinity of globalist control. See, it's like the Vatican's like the spiritual, Washington DC's like the military, the might, and London's the money. And as I've logged there, the empire of the city consists of 3 cities which belong to no nation or state and pay no taxes. So, hey, which one shall we look at here? Three corporations run the world. Yeah, Ironworker Lob Jens, he was surprised, I think, that I was using a Kindle to do this, and he very kindly offered me a laptop. He says the battery don't work, but I don't care about that. But I don't know about posting it and stuff. I don't know. But it's very generous of him to even offer, isn't it? I'm overwhelmed, because I'd never want to ever use this channel to ask for anyone for anything. I've had fuck all my life, so you know what I mean. Doesn't it? You know what? I started with fuck all and I've still got most of it left. World events, most of which are engineered, leave a trail that leads to the architects. We next discovered that there are 3 cities on Earth that come under no national authority. They have separate laws, they pay no taxes, they have their own police force, and even possess their own flag of independence. These 3 cities control the economy, military onslaughts, and the spiritual beings of those in powers. The 3 cities are actually corporations, and they are City of London, District of Columbia, and the Vatican. Together they control politicians, the courts, educational institutions, food supply, natural resources, foreign policies, economies, media, and the money flow of most nations. Right, okay, I paused it there to read the article fully, because I didn't want to read it out fully. It'd be boring. You can just read it for yourself. You'd want that, wouldn't you? But I'll just point out a few things. Well, at the centre of each city-state are giant phallic-shaped stone monuments called obelisks. London obelisk, Cleopatra's Needle, what we stole from fucking Egypt. In DC, the obelisk is known as the Washington Monument, was dedicated to George Washington by the secretive Brotherhood of Freemason Grand Lodge of the District of Columbia in 1848. They also contributed 22 Masonic memorial stones. 250 Masonic lodges financed the Washington Monument obelisk, including the Knights Templar Masonic Order. The Vatican obelisk, located in St. Peter's Square, was moved from Egypt to its current location in 1586. The circle on the ground represents the female vagina, while the obelisk itself is the penis. This is commonly known as occult symbolism. The City of London was formed when the Romans arrived in Great Britain 2,000 years ago, did they? And started a trading post. You shoot it with the Romans. What do you say, Febs? Weren't the Romans with it? They sailed right on up the River Thames. They started a trading post on the River Thames. They sailed right up the Birth Canal, right up the canal into the city, deposited seamen, and wrote all about it on Fleet Street. Exactly 1,000 years later, I'm not going by these timelines obviously, William the Conqueror gave sovereign status to the City of Londoners in 1694, allowing them to continue enjoying separate rights and privileges so long as they recognised him as king. The kings that succeeded William, however, decided to build a new capital city and named it Westminster. There have been numerous instances of the king and the city's mayor at loggerheads with each other. So Westminster and the City of London. However, the City of London is not an independent nation like the Vatican. Today, the City of London is a 1 square mile city. The 2 Londons have separate city halls and elect separate mayors who collect separate taxes to fund separate police who enforce separate laws. City of London has its own separate flag and crest, while London City does not. The Mayor of London has a fancy title, the Right Honourable the Lord Mayor of London, and rides a golden carriage to Guildhall, while the Mayor of London wears a suit and takes a bus. The Mayor of London has no power over the Right Honourable Lord Mayor of London, City of London. What's unique is that the City of London is a corporation and older than the UK, but has a representative in the UK Parliament through a person known as the Remembrancer, who is present to protect the city's interests. But it's unreal. The Queen refers to the City of London Corporation as the firm, but it is known as the Crown. Washington DC District of the Columbia is not part of the USA. District of the Columbia is located on 10 square miles of land. DC has its own flag, own independent constitution. This constitution operates under a tyrannical Roman law known as Lex Fort. DC Constitution has nothing to do with the American Constitution. The Act of 1871 passed by Congress created a separate corporation known as the United States, a corporate government for the District of Columbia. Thus, DC acts as a corporation through the Act. The flag of Washington's District of Columbia has 3 Fed stars, the 3 stars denoting DC, Vatican City and City of London. We've been fucked over, haven't we, good and proper? Well, the Vatican City is not part of Italy or Rome. The Vatican is the last true remnant of the Roman Empire. The State of Israel is also said to be a Roman outpost. The Vatican's wealth includes investments with the Rothschilds and the rest of it. Together, the 3 cities have under their wing various societies and groups, placed globally with their own so that no one contests their global plan, and those that do, well, the assassinations will explain what happens. The Fabian Society is one such entity, which, written in 1887, is a mixture of fascism, Nazism, Marxism and communism. It is not hard to imagine that all these ideologies would have been engineered by the same people. It should come as no surprise then to discover that the Fabian Society is accredited with creating communist China, fascism in Italy and Germany, and socialism globally as well. How far people have been fooled, and also explains the role played by the Fabian Society in formulating policies for the decolonised British Empire. It would also mean that quite a number of British educated natives, given the mantle of leading the newly independent nations, would have also been members of the Fabian Society. The communist takeover of Russia, too, is said to be the work of the British Fabian Society, financed by the City of London banking families. Well, a close look at entities like the Bank of International Settlements, International Monetary Fund, the Club of Rome, Committee 300, CIA, Council of Foreign Relations, Trilateral Commission, and so on. Right, a noteworthy quote is that of Australian Senator Chris Sachs, who said in 2001, "You probably were not aware that us Fabians have taken over the CIA, KGB, MI5, and the Australian Security Intelligence Organisation, IMF, the World Bank, and many other organisations." From all this, we should realise that nothing happens in isolation. Therefore, every event, however small, is engineered and orchestrated by a handful of people who control the world. And then it just goes on. It's true though, eh? No. Cleopatra's Needle is the name shared by 3 ancient Egyptian obelisks, one in New York City, one in London and one in Paris. However, each comes from a different Egyptian site and none may have been built in honour of Cleopatra. Why is it showing 3? Cleopatra's Needle. I don't want to ring that one. I can see that. Why is it showing a Cleopatra's? Can't be bothered waiting for the fucking thing. It's not the real deal anyway. Right, here's your Cleopatra's Needle. But it's curious how there's an obelisk in Washington DC, there's one in Vatican City, there's one in London, and then there's 3 Cleopatra's Needles, one in New York, one in Paris, and one in the one in London. It's just all fucking... What's this thing? Never heard of this. Sure that's not what I clicked. It's the one in New York. It's the one in London. Don't know. That's the one in Paris. Fucking weird, Hey. So, I'll leave it at that. These 3 cities seem to fucking figure very much in our world, don't they? 63, man. And yeah, so I'd like to say again, thank you, Jens, for that message. And I'm not being ignorant. I genuinely only did get the message today. And if there's some way I can get hold of your email, I'll write to you. Right, thanks everyone for watching, and anyone who's new to my channel. I've got a couple of new subscribers recently, which is good. I don't want this channel getting too big though. I like it just nice and wee. So don't tell any cunt about it. Right, see you all later. Take care everyone, right.